Transmitting to you from Old Heart Radio.
Welcome to Local Yokelz.
Yeah.
All right. So it's been a hot second since the Local Yokelz has occurred, my friend. And I'm glad to say that I'm sitting down here with Jasper St. Germain, one of the most wonderfully spirited human beings I've ever met. And that's very true, my friend. You've always just given out good vibes, which is something that I think is a real fucking thing that not a lot of people do. Say hello to all the hot dogs, Jasper.
What up? It's your ice cold hot dog. It's
Yes,
Jasper.
Yes,
Long time
sir.
listener, first time Zoomer.
The
hot dog water.
Dude, the hot dog water, if you just let it sit for long enough, it becomes a delicious, delectable thing to just wash anything down your gullet, you know?
Yeah, infused flavor.
Yeah, infused flavor. So, Jasper, I just real quick, I want to say, you sent me a link to some music, a couple of things of music that you've worked on over the years.
Yeah.
Recently I've been including today, right before this, I was jamming on one of them. You have this project that's called Diarrhea Warning. And I just had to make sure, I had to triple check. I was like, hell yeah, dude. It's so good though. There's so much good shit on this list of tracks, dude.
Yeah, thanks.
I was just curious, how long you've been working on this particular thing.
Oh man, maybe about a month, something like that.
Okay.
Not too long. I've been making music with Augie Sheets. And so all through the spring and summer, we were putting stuff on his SoundCloud, and it's just under the name Og. Just Og. Yeah. But we got a nice iPad, so I started doing some stuff at home. But I wanted to listen to our music that I was making with him, and I couldn't get into my old SoundCloud account, so I just made a new one on the spot, and I think it just became Diarrhea Warning. And now I'm making music on it and just leaning into it with the pictures,
I honestly like I said, dude, I was literally just doing some homework for a while, and it just becomes really at times you have these really groovy pockets that pop up. There is the string themed for a chode or something like that that was just this epic sounding masterpiece that just pops on.
Yeah.
It's where's this, it's just I don't know, it perfectly reminded me. It's one of the things that I always use when I tell people about you, because I tell people about you, quite frankly, a good lot, because I'm always dude, there's I don't know. I tell tales about the people that we used to play with and the skill set that that I just was in awe of always. And you're one of those cats. But this reminds me of the eclectic nature that I always tell people you brought to the table. It's so fucking wild. It's just Diarrhea Warning. And I think it's kind of a fitting title, because it seems like you're just putting up stuff that you're making, right? So it's just a hodgepodge of anything could pop up on here, it's
right. It ended up being really fitting just kind of by chance. And that is really the way it is. I tried to sit down and make another metal song yesterday, and it was just dog shit. It just turned out so poorly. And I'm just playing around today. I'd rather make this, I have something else in my head. So probably try that tomorrow.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
But you've been playing music for a long time, man.
Yeah. I started playing the bass. I was figuring it out today, because I started in 4th grade. So I would have been 9 at the beginning of 4th grade. And I started playing the bass. Yep, the upright.
That's intense, dude. That's wow. 9, man. And so you started playing with the upright bass, and did that fairly quickly translate into more electric stuff?
Yeah, I think Christmas in 5th grade. I got the electric bass.
Pretty fast.
Yeah. My brother, I have older siblings. Like my brother was playing the drums. He was, a drummer, and I don't know if he was playing like garage bands at that point with some of his friends. And my sister also played like in school bands.
Hell yeah.
And there's a piano in the house, that sort of thing. So we all played, and
that's cool, man. I think my mom always tried to cultivate like somewhat of a musical environment for us, but like me and my brothers like hit or miss with like how it's stuck. But that's cool. Kind of like, would you guys just sort of sit there and play together sometimes at home at all, or?
Not really. My sister did it for school. She was just like occupied with a lot of stuff, just that kind of person.
Fair enough.
And my brother is still 5 years older than me, so like at that point, when I'm like 10 and he's 15,
there's kind of a cool age gap there.
Yeah, we're not really doing the same thing musically.
That's fair. Oh my God, dude. But what would lead you to like your first group then? Like what was you're playing in school bands, I imagine, at that.
So
up until then.
Orchestra. Yeah, doing orchestra stuff in like middle school, and then outside of school too, I was doing like solo and ensemble. I was taking private lessons. That's pretty cool. So I was doing like recitals basically, and some of the like other things like that. And I had friends that played just like we'd play cover songs, in like Led Zeppelin, and we were really into System of a Down. I was like in middle school probably, so by the time like 7th grade rolled around, I had like one friend I was playing music with, and I think in 8th grade he got his electric guitar, and we were really jamming serious. Like we could do Dazed and Confused and Fire and some Nirvana. We had a friend who played drums who was a year older than us, and that was Andy Meets. So
okay.
Another one of us. We started our first band when we were in 8th grade, just doing covers. We could do Toxicity front to back, that whole album. We did some Jimi Hendrix.
You guys learned that whole album?
Yeah, I think there was one song. Chop Suey's hard because like kind of with like the acoustic and electric guitar, so we didn't do that. But and then maybe like Forest or some song from that album that we didn't do. But yeah, pretty much the whole thing.
Damn,
yeah. Dude. And then other just the standards: Nirvana, the Ramones, Jimi Hendrix.
Did this particular kind of like group? Did you guys just jam and like learn covers? Did you guys play any like sets, or shows, or anything like that around the valley?
Yeah, we tried to do our like 8th grade talent show, but you wouldn't let us. It was either the fact that we did.
You guys were too hard.
Maybe it was like the fact that we played System of a Down. They were like, "It's your drummer's not in the middle school, so you can't play here." But
curse these stupid arbitrary rules.
Yeah, it's probably the fact they didn't want that at a middle school gym, just kids freaking out to metal.
Dead. Just give the kids what they want, though, man. Give them some metal, and they'll go quietly into the night. Okay.
We did a tryout, so we had like people there, and they were stoked.
It was like a Back to the Future situation where Marty McFly and the group, you guys get up there and you shred the fucking balls off the gym, and then the one guy stands up. You guys just aren't gonna cut it. Sorry. Dude, it's harsh, man. I think Schmatter got away with playing like 2 talent shows.
Yeah,
I don't know why I didn't bother the school at that time that we kept like these graduates just keep coming back to play music. But high school allowed that for sure. Later in high school, I guess a few weird talent show things. Fair enough. So what did you guys have a name for this group?
Yeah, we were the Fuzz.
The Fuzz.
Because there was already a big banner in the garage that said the Fuzz from like our drummer's dad's band.
Nice.
He did a bunch of bands and stuff, and so his dad when he and his friends learned 100 cover songs, they started calling themselves the Fuzz.
Oh,
Do you remember there was a band called Three Finger Floyd?
Yeah.
Around town? Yeah. So Leo, Andy's dad, was their bass player.
Oh, wild. Okay.
Yeah.
Dude.
And then Leo and my dad, used to work construction. They're a few years apart, but they were friends, so it was like a small town.
The connect, yeah.
Yeah.
Dude, that's wild.
that was the first band that I did. And then later they're like, right after that, we had some kind of like just internal shit, stopped hanging out. So then he and Andy and Pete Larson and I had a band in our freshman year.
Whoa, okay.
Primus.
Yeah.
The same songs, just with like Primus and some stuff that Pete brought in.
Fair enough. Dude, Pete Larson, man. Like, what the fuck has that cat been doing, man?
I haven't seen him in a long time.
Yeah. Because like if I'm thinking about like bass players from the Valley, I would have to put Pete Larson on that fucking list. You know what I mean? Like right up there with you. Like you're probably in like the tops of that list for me, at least personally. But like that's like he was like popping off too, man. Like that just. But anyway, it's like
yeah.
You two in a band. Who's playing bass in that group?
He was. So
okay,
I was
so
just
what were you
learning to
doing?
play guitar. So 8th grade, I got my first guitar. So when I started my first band playing bass and was learning guitar on the side.
Yep. Hell yeah.
Yeah.
So that yeah. What like? Do you have a preference between the two? Like
now it's guitar. I mostly play guitar.
Yeah.
But when I pick up the bass, it's home. I was like jamming with Germain and Augie the other night, and like I think we were listening to some like Donnie Benet there at the end of the night, and I just like picked up the bass and was like, oh shit, this is the bass groove he's doing.
You're like, I found that pocket.
Yeah. It's comfortable.
Yeah. That's interesting, man. So it's like bass is kind of more of the comfort. Does guitar challenge you still, like in a lot of ways?
Absolutely. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm still really pushing. There's always something for me to grab,
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
I think that's one of the I don't know, those are the kind of activities or like, things that like skills that you internalize to like challenge yourself to hone, that like really are just like lifelong kind of things, right? They're lifelong pursuits where you're just constantly going to be like looking for the next innovation to try and push into your regiment, like, I think that's always kind of, it's fun and it helps like sharpen your mind along the way, because you're just, there's nothing, you're never going to hit a wall, you're going to always have something else that you can do theoretically. It's like,
right. And if like you hit you're on like a plateau and you're like trying to do something, it's like this isn't working out, there's always some other style to like practice, like
totally,
there's one side of guitar playing that isn't working out. It's like, well, maybe just focus on like learning a different style from a different culture, or doing something else to just like broaden your horizon and come back to like what you're trying.
Yeah, hell yeah. So that kind of with some of these like earlier groups, you guys were doing like some covers and stuff like that. And when did you start like working on like writing material?
I was always just practicing at home, so I always had like little riffs and stuff that I would do.
Yeah.
But probably around then, I started writing some like punk songs.
Hell yeah.
First chorus, verse, just like Ramones meets Nirvana rip off. Never like played them with any bands. Maybe
just starting.
Like Pete and and Andy, but like they were so much like the King Friday and Ghost Power band that I was in at that point, that there's like we were just playing their songs with us.
Fair enough. So that actually, I mean, I guess now that you're bringing them up, like when did you start participating in particularly like those two groups?
So that was in between 8th and 9th grade. My brother he graduated and like came back. So yeah, it would have been 2004, summer 2004.
Okay.
He came back into town, and the guy who was drumming with Andrew's band, Andrew Haug's band, I think he like passed away in a little accident. So he called my brother to see if he wanted to play drums with them. And being a little brother, I'm like, oh, let me go with. Let me come with. I want to see this band. And I showed up there, and my brother's like, all right, you can come with, but you can't play. You can just hang out. I'm like, okay, whatever. So I just wanted to be with, I just wanted to be there. And so we pick up Andrew and take him to like, we go to like, the jam space, and he's like, will you play bass or something, don't you? I'm like, yeah. He's like, well, bring an amp next time. I'm like, let's do this. My brother's like, all right, yeah, whatever.
Fine.
Yeah. So right before my freshman year of high school, so beginning of 2004, we were King Friday. His friend, another guy named Jared, who was a singer who was from Ellensburg, came over. We were that 4-piece of King Friday. So
Friday.
Our first show was February of 2005 at the Emerald Station.
Oh shit!
We opened for Black Eyes and Neckties.
Really?
Yeah.
Dude, how'd that set go down? Do you remember it fondly?
Oh man, yeah. I was just like, completely starstruck. Like my brother played some bands. I was like, oh shit, I'm at a show. I'm in a bar. Like I'm 15 and I'm in a bar. This is awesome.
Dude, the first time you play at a bar underage feels so fucking cool.
And so they had this like hardcore punk band like open first, and it was just some like raggedy ass dudes. And no one was having it because it was like gutter punk. Like it was cool, but it was not, it's like
yeah. Exactly what gutter punk strives for. Cool, but not.
Not 7 o'clock at a place that's kind of also sometimes fine dining.
I love that. I like, it's fine dining, some gutter punk action, You'll get some sweat, maybe some spit on you. It's good. Yeah, it was great. Good time.
So then we played our set, and it was the first show we played, and we got there. The crowd was pretty decent by then. It was like 8:30 or 9, and people were like dancing. We had shit going on, and the dudes from that band got really mad, and they came up to us, and they were like screaming in our faces and all pissed off. Like,
why?
Because nobody liked them, and we got a great response.
They were just mad that you were better than them.
Yeah, it was weird. I was like, I didn't know what to do between being like elated of playing like my first show, and then also like confused. Like, being like 15, it's like, do I fight them? Do I hit them?
What's protocol here?
Yeah.
Does somebody swing first, or do I just go in? Like, do I just ignore it? Like, what the fuck, dude?
Yeah, basically just ignore it.
Yeah, I mean, they
left. Yeah. Later though, I think that guy sucker punched me in a mosh pit at Warped Tour in 2008.
What? Wait. Are you how certain are you of that?
I made eye contact with him.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
Dude, do you think he remembered? Do you think you?
I don't know. Maybe.
Was it that kind of status?
Fucking grudge, man.
He's been seething on this for.
I'm gonna get that fucking kid. He was like probably 22 or 23 at the time, and I'm like 15. So then later he's like 25, 26. Well,
this dude in his mid-20s he's just like waiting around for a few years just to fucking clock this teenager who upstaged him.
We're gonna jump a little bit here, but I had another punk band that I was in, and my singer got in a fist fight with him during one of our shows. So
shit,
they were spraying beer all over, and it was a house party, and they just kind of started tumbling, and it was slippery, and it was like a series of things, just small town.
Yeah.
Long time. I never
did. There's like weird, like happenstance rivalries almost. You're just like, I don't know why this is happening, but it's still happening.
Yeah.
So, okay. So do you think, just based on your quick count, do you owe him a fucking punch theoretically, or just like, who's the last person to swing on who, or like get into a tussle or whatever with whomever?
Oh yeah, it would be me.
Yeah. You'd get a swing on him theoretically.
I suppose if I see him at a show, sure.
Trip
him, push him over in the pit.
Yeah, exactly. Push him over, and then as pit protocol, help him up. Now we're even, man. Now we're. Dude, I did like an episode a while ago, like one of those like hodgepodge episodes. It was like about mosh pit protocol, and I hadn't thought about some of that in so fucking long. But I was like, it's legit, man. Like it really is. Like it's something that people like hold themselves to, which I have always appreciated about mosh pits. Like there's only been like a handful of times where I feel like I've witnessed like a pit get like full on out of control. But most of the time it's like it has its boundaries, it stays within its context. People just like get violent with each other and then like back off, and it's all good. Like
you get one scrappy guy in there, but
yeah, exactly. I always love the moment though, like the break at a show where it's like the music's like going, you see the crowd like starting to get into it. There's got to be one person that's just getting antsy enough to all of a sudden just like, all right, this big dude over here looks like he could take a push, so I'm just gonna like fucking thud into him, and then like next thing you know, it just start tumbling into it. So like the mosh pit has begun, but there's always that one guy that's just like, all right, I'm just gonna run into somebody and like see if I can start it. You know, it's like, I fucking love that. Oh man, dude, yeah, it's been a hot second since I've been in a mosh, but
no kidding.
You know, I would definitely get into a pit still. I think, like, just for the fucking energy of it, you know.
Yeah, you know, other than being caught in some unintentionally, when I know there's going to be one, I like to be like, you know, the edge of the circle, because I don't necessarily like to get hardcore into moshing just because I'm old now, but like,
I feel that
being in there and kind of like keeping the mosh contained is kind of a fun thing. Like, you pick people up who are on the edge, and sometimes, you know, you're in it and like tossing people around, but you're also like keeping your smaller friends or whoever the people you're with who don't want to mosh, like, kind of, you know, out of it.
You gotta like, the mosh has to have a good mosh guard set up around the edge, you know what I mean?
It's a fun spot to be, because, you know, younger is like, yeah, of course I was moshing and going wild, but then it's like, yeah, being on the ring's kind of cool too, like you're in it, but not
see the action.
Punched.
I usually like, I'll get my bows out, you know. Like, if you get past the bows, it means you're too close.
Absolutely.
But, yeah, man, I mean, like, I would dip into one. There's no way I would ever like, oh god, I mean, this is just age sounding, like you said, but it is like, I wouldn't thrash nearly as like, I wouldn't just like recklessly throw myself into a mosh as I once might have, but I feel like I'd try, and then I'd probably get hurt, and then I'd probably be like, all right, I'm not doing that again.
Yeah, dude. Oh man. So I don't know if you know the band The Voids. It's like Julian Casablancas from The Strokes.
Voids. Oh, okay.
So like their albums and stuff, it's more like electro punk sort of, but live they're just like a punk band. Like, it was intense, and the crowd just went bonkers, and it was like, you know, just the whole thing was a mosh. It was insane.
Damn, dude.
There were fights.
Legit.
Yeah.
Oh. My god, man. Well, like, okay, so that like, out of some of the groups that you've been a part of, which ones have had, like, what group has had like the most crowd reaction? Like, have you gotten like, what group started the most mosh pits that you were a part of?
Probably Ghost Power.
I was gonna say, man, that was what I was thinking. Ghost Power, probably.
A lot of like dancey mosh pits, and a lot of like pretty wild shows that we played, like at like random parties at somebody's place, you know, in some like skate cabin in the woods, like a skate park cabin in the woods thing. Like, the people were just rowdy, and there was moshes there, and just like the venues, the places we played, you know, just it was rowdy. But there were some schmouder shows too where it did. That Bloomers show was some hot shit.
Oh yeah, dude, that was a rowdy one. That wasn't that like that was one of the last shows that they were like allowed to do there.
Yeah, it was. Yeah,
I think, right, because it was like there's just too much damage that happened to the floral shop underneath, I think.
Yeah, there was stuff falling off the ceiling, and it was getting too rowdy. Yeah.
You can't get too rowdy in the valley.
Yeah, there's a limit.
There's you got fun is acceptable. Rowdiness, it's quelled. Oh man.
But the Waldos too. I mean, they're hard to remember, but I know some of those shows at the ballroom. I just remember like us starting mosh pits. Like, we were in there and we were just like, whoa, just like push people and just like go. The Waldos was a bit, there was more instigating on our part, I think, a little bit, not just sonically someday. But all right, well, so from this era, where did you go to like next? Where did you go from you know, in terms of like King Friday and like Ghost Power?
Yeah. Like, what was the next line in your musical band life so far?
So that was pretty much all of high school. You know, the cover band, we did like talent show my freshman year, and then we just kind of played around a little bit. But like, I did school band and had other stuff going on.
Yeah.
My junior year, I did write a bass solo and did that for my talent show.
Hell yeah.
Two-handed tapping thing, like, I don't know, just a like 2 or 3 minute little like bass piece.
Dude.
And then my brother stopped playing with Ghost Power somewhere in between like my junior and senior year. He was just kind of like over being in bands. So he stopped playing. My friend Joel started playing the drums, and we played like maybe 2 or 3 shows. So by the time my senior year rolled around, I wasn't really active with them anymore.
Okay.
That was pretty much over. So that, you know, late 2007, early 2008, I was pretty much out of that. So that's when I probably started writing more songs on my own and started like doing my own stuff, trying to record things with like Audacity and a shitty mic and just plugging my guitar directly through pedals into the microphone jack on my computer. Just being
damn, dude. Well, that was it, right? It was like you had to, you know, try to figure out like how to do something with what you got, man. Like, you know, there wasn't like a plethora of different free like programs that you could try out, or like, you know, different things like were the accessibility is just so much greater right now that it's, you know, it's like it's something I will never take for granted. Basically, is because I remember days like that, like particularly for me, it was like I mean, I remember like recording shit things on you know, at Rex's at the compound up there, but I also remember like distinct memories of like trying to sync music onto VHS tapes and like having to like run the audio to like a TV and then run the you know, picture like separately, or all this different shit. And it was just like so jacked, man. And then so yeah, doing the stuff like that where you start like just experimenting on like how to figure out anything you can is such an interesting phase. Like back, it's in that pocket of time, at least for me, but it sounds like for you a little bit that like started out right there, you know, like. Yeah,
definitely. When you can put your own song on your iPod and listen to it, and you're like, oh yeah, the drums are like 100 miles away and the guitar is like just dead sounding. There's nothing to it, but you're like, that's mine.
Yeah, but it's on an iPod.
Yeah, plug this in and play it.
Yeah. Oh my god, dude. So like, yeah, so you started kind of like messing around there. Did you have anything that like really popped out of there?
No.
Without that time frame?
Nope, nothing. Just farting around. They're probably still on a computer. So I was at a show at the basement sometime around then, winter break time. And just, I think it was actually Black Eyes and Neckties. They were in town, and I was seeing them because I loved them. You know, it was like the second or third time I got to see them. And some other guys, some older dudes. I don't know if you know who Jeremy Logan is. He was in some bands, I think Wayward Youth, some other bands from like Wenatchee back in the day.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he and a few other guys were starting this punk band, and they needed a bass player. And they were all like between 26 and 30. I'm like, yeah, sure, I'll do it. Let's go.
I can do that.
You know, we did like 2 house shows. We were called Off the Record. And
nice.
Yeah, they were just like crazy house parties at our drummer's house.
Dope.
And I would just smoke cigarettes and drink beer. I would get weed for our drummer because he was like just moved back to town or something. So I would trade weed for beer. And
there you go.
Would go there in between like, you know, school and work at Dairy Queen.
Oh, yeah.
Just like drink fucking Busch Light and smoke cigarettes and play punk rock. It was an interesting time.
It's a good time. Did you ever snag a blizzard to take home with you? Play some punk rock while smoking a cigarette and eating a blizzard?
Probably not, you know. I would probably just chow that shit out on the way there.
Nah.
Nah, fool.
Dude, that's fucking funny. So you said you guys played a couple of just like house shows and stuff.
Yep, 2 house parties. That second one devolved into a fight because our singer would take these tall boys, shake them up, crack Stone Cold Steve Austin style. We blast them all over the place, all shaken up. Hardwood floors,
dude,
people are slipping all over the place, and he's like, someone slipped into him or he slipped into this dude, and they just like third song in through like the 5th song, because we just kept playing, we just like kept going. The band marches on. We just like played the soundtrack of this like brawl. It was pretty fucking cool.
That's pretty fucking cool.
Yeah, and it was
the 2-track deep. I don't know, the fight lasted 2 tracks, man.
Because they like stopped and then it started again, because like, all right, song, because we jammed on the same like punk riff for like 3 minutes. We're like, okay, we stopped, and like, all right, the fight stops. So then we start another song, like, fight starts again.
They're just like, oh yeah, ding ding again.
Yeah.
Oh fucking hell, dude, that's great. That, I feel like that's a treasure of a memory right there. Like playing.
Yeah, it was my 18th birthday, but nobody there recognized it because it was like a pre-party for our singer's like 29th or something. I'm like, hey, I'm 18 today, and they're like, huh.
Cool. Damn them older kids were always so cruel.
Yeah, it was a life lesson. Like, well, I'm an adult now. Nobody gives a shit.
Yeah, exactly. This is what real life must be.
Yeah. But actually, in between that, so there was a really cool thing that Pete Larson, will bring him back up. He and I did. God, dude. So I have this thing planned out for my senior year for the talent show, right? It was a cool, like drum guitar piece that my friend and I wrote. And it was this like crazy trippy, like went through different sounds and styles. And it was like this really cool thing. But he kind of backed out at the last minute. So I went over to Pete's place and like, hey, you want to do the talent show? Do some like bass shit, do something. Yeah. So he and I wrote what ended up being dueling basses. And it was kind of like played off the dueling banjos, like the teaching kind of scene shtick.
Yeah.
And we started just like ripping all these bass solos. And like, we had this part in it where like we were both doing bass lines and lead lines. So there was like 2 bass lines and 2 leads going at the same time, because we're both like two-handed tapping and just doing all this crazy shit. It was also kind of a comedy routine. Like I had a big sombrero and like I did this ripping bass solo and like threw the hat off my head, and then he started doing like the Mexican hat dance and kind of like around for a while. Got back to bass playing.
Dude, that sounds fucking awesome, actually, man.
Yeah, we did it at Mela one other time, like that summer.
I was gonna say, I feel like I've heard of, like, I don't know if I witnessed it or not. Like I wish I did. If I did not, I wish I had that memory.
Yeah,
it sounds just like a fucking incredible, honestly.
There was one other thing, like Andy Meets and another guy. It's gonna take me. Adam Harum. He was a guy who went to Wenatchee High School. He does like video editing. He actually works for a news station in Spokane now.
Oh, cool.
Like that. Yeah. He was just a really good musician. I was in like the school band with him.
Yeah.
But they did this thing called the Mad Men 3 Ultimate Destruction. And it was these 4 guys with bass drums, and it was like a whole comedy bass drum routine, but it was like a marching band bass drum line solo. So like they were doing like the Pirates of the Caribbean theme, like scenes from the Lord of the Rings. Like there was this whole like overarching Lord of the Rings thing where like someone was betraying one of the members, and it was just like comedy, but also like avant-garde, really like high skill bass drum solo show. Like just seeing that all the time was like, oh cool, yeah, a crazy comedy music show, let's do it.
That's what I mean, dude. Dude, it's like, it's this reoccurring thing that I think is so I mean, maybe it's just uncanny to me, but it seems like I don't know, there's so much talent that is just brimming with people like throughout like the valley. I mean, we're just, going through, sitting down with all of you guys, all my friends who have just been like able to share some of their experiences. It's like you guys are all so uber talented and have done these different things, but you guys do it all so fucking casually. Like it's just like you got, like, it's like you do it for the sake of like wanting to like
It's just for fun.
have some creative fun, you know, and it's I don't know, man. It's just like that, I think, drives like everybody to just do so much better, I think, you know what I mean?
Yeah, part of it for me is like from doing it in school, like the stuff that you have to learn, all the scales, some of the like time signatures and weird stuff. When you're just like doing it every day, like in school, you meet and like you make friends in that class. So then if you're a weirdo and you make friends in music class with another weirdo, you like get together and do weirdo shit. It's like you're both like good, but you don't know what to do with it because you're like 12. So you're just like, I don't know, let's just fucking
exactly.
get this out. I don't know what
it is either.
Yeah,
that's dude. I don't know, man. It's just great, but that's why, like, I think eventually, this makes me sound like I don't have a memory at all, but how did you come into the Schmouder fold? Like, what was your perspective on that?
So, this is
because
this is go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say, because this is like this leads right into like where Schmouder always was, you know. So it's like the sake of just doing fucking weird shit. We're doing weird shit's sake. So where did you come in there, and like how did you feel about like that joining of forces?
Yeah, it's absolutely a relevant timing thing. So the first time I went to the estate and met everyone proper was after the second show of Dueling Basses with Pete and I, like our second night of the high school talent show.
Yeah. Okay.
So it would have been February 2008. I went over to the estate for like, you know, this after party.
Yeah.
But before that, just playing in Ghost Power, like DFR was always around. I remember like the Whack Arnolds. I have pictures in the Pink Friday show where the members of Steel Armadillos are the audience. Where it's like Kamo, Caleb, Rex, Elliot, and they're just like, they are it's at Centennial Park, just rainy spring morning.
That's perfect.
Yeah. So, you know, people were always around, like those guys were always around.
Yeah.
And being the same age as them, you know, you kind of like connect. And it's like, I knew about Rex. I knew he was a bass player. I don't think I'd ever talk to him, but it's like, yeah, we're both like, hey, you're the bass player from that band. Oh, you're pretty good, huh? Yeah.
Yeah, what's up?
He also, I think, did a stage dive off of a speaker at a Ghost Power show, so at the Grange. So, you know,
it sounds like Rex.
Yeah, infamy tales,
dude. That's legit. That makes sense then. So, like, well, that's because, like, I mean, I think, like, for little bits of time, I think everybody has to shake the like Wenatchee, East Wenatchee vibe. You know what I mean? Like for some reason, there's like this little bit of like a weird like rivalry-esque feeling that you just like, you eventually are just like, the fuck is this?
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Like there's no difference. Like it's just they have the Wenatchee school and I go to the East Wenatchee school. Like whatever.
Yeah. My freshman year, I went to Emmett Brooks's end of the year party and like play guitar with a bunch of people there. Like they had that band Run Riot.
Yo, Run Riot.
So like, I mean, like Dane Gifford, I don't think he played drums with them, but he was around, you know, and like all those, I can't remember a lot of those people, but like they were all there. Like, I don't know. I think they went on to do stuff, you know, related to other local bands, but so I was always kind of like dipping in both pots, I guess, east, west.
East and west. Yeah, well, and there were like, I mean, inevitably there were like specific like pockets of like, this was a Wenatchee band, this is East Wenatchee band,
but
yeah, whatever. But
yeah,
I mean, like it was always there. Although you like, there's like, you know, I think like, how do I say it? You know, certain individuals transcended, I suppose.
Yeah.
But yeah, so the first time you kind of like were really like in, like, you know, you were in, like really kind of introduced or like in that, or interacting with everybody, what you said was like at the estate.
Yep. Yeah, that would have been so February of 2008. I think it was still pretty early on in the estate days.
Yeah.
Like they still have the six. I remember playing Smash Bros. And just like
the great equalizer was the estate, man.
well, because like I crush, I'm a dedicated Smash Bros. Player. I do like to game, and I came in and whooped some ass, and they're like, oh shit, oh shit. I think Troy ended up beating me or something, but like I got to the point where I was playing Troy.
Yeah. He's the master hand of the group anyway, so it's like you have to get through other people, but once you start beating down, I mean, you would have beat me down. I'm still a novice, if we will.
I played like the new one online and got my ass handed to me, but
dude, I recently did too. I kind of enjoy trying to play online, but I've never won a match. Like
not yet. I like on the Wii back in the day. I crushed some kids online, but now oof.
Oh yeah, dude, I never played the Smash Bros on the Wii. Was it really that? Was it like a good adaptation? I guess I never really got into it, like I said.
Yeah, I mean, I think it was Melee. Is that one or Brawl? Whichever one, but
I think it was Brawl.
Controllers. Yeah, it is Brawl for sure. We used the GameCube controllers. It was good. I liked it.
There's just like I skipped. I don't know. Somehow I skipped from like the 64 to the Switch.
Pretty much, because that was like my same thing. Didn't own a Nintendo system until the Switch.
Yeah. Damn. But yeah, okay. So, you're at the estate, you're playing Smash, and then one thing leads to another. Next thing you know, you're in a new band, or how did you get there?
What was right into a new band.
Oops, I fell into this band.
Yeah, so I didn't really I started hanging out at the estate. Right after that, I was like, this place is the fucking tits. There's other people in bands. There's all kinds of shit here. Like, this is the spot to be. So started hanging out, school ended. And I worked with a lot of people who hung out there too. So
hell yeah.
It's unfair to not mention Dairy Queen. I worked with Nick Flannery. I worked with Scott Weiss. I worked with JMO.
Dude, I forgot all of them worked there though.
Yeah.
Holy shit. I remember Jameson worked there, and I remember the Weiss did. I didn't remember that Flannery did also. And then oh wow, you guys were all part of that crew.
Yeah, so I knew all the fellas. Emmett even worked there for a while,
Yeah.
So kind of naturally fell into hanging out there.
Hell yeah.
Like during that summer. And I want to say there was a weird one-off show at Rex's Garage where the Whack Arnolds played, and I had just got like this Korg R3 synth, so I played synth in the Whack Arnolds one show in the garage. That would have been my first, I think, official show with you guys.
I kind of remember that.
It was a weird. I don't know. I don't.
Every time I've tried to have or be a part of some sort of garage sort of show, it has never fucking worked out.
It was just some friends watching friends play music. It was,
it's just basically we were just hanging out. We basically were just having like a hangout. It was like, instead of doing it inside, we were just doing it outside.
Yep. There might have been a few extra people there.
Negligible apparently.
There's that, and then so
that's a good test though. It's a good test. That's a good test though. You have to throw yourself into the Whack Arnold's machine and see if you can.
Oh yeah, can you hang in just a full noise?
Just an onslaught of bullshit.
Oh dude, but at that point, man, I was listening to so much Sonic Youth, like for years at that point, just nonstop. That I was just getting into Frank Zappa, but I was also listening to a lot of metal. My taste was and a lot of Hella. I don't know if and then I was also getting a lot of noise shit, like Boris and Sun, and I don't know if you've heard of Merzbow, but it's just black noise shit.
No, Merzbow.
I liked it then. Now I don't know, but I had wild tastes. Black Arnold's was up my alley. I loved the energy.
Dude, it was a performance piece, if you will.
Oh, I got it. I full on. I was on board with it from the jump. Just yes, fucking rage.
Oh my god, dude. Okay, so and that kind of probably bled into what other kind of jamming can happen and whatnot then?
Yeah, so Pete Larson and Rex and Elliot and Calvin had a band called Peyote Coyote.
Oh my fucking god, dude, that's right.
Yeah, and Elliot wasn't really playing with them so much anymore because I think whatever. So I came in with playing guitar with them. I was like doing rhythm guitar stuff.
Hell yeah.
And right about that same time, Troy was going to school. So
Hollywood Vines.
Yeah, earning his moniker. So you guys were like looking at either having Pete or I play bass, I think, for Schmouder, and so you chose me. I was chosen. I was selected and picked. The gift, to the Schmouder gods, basically, we're gifting a mortal a chance. It sounds like, jeez. No, the Schmouder was just like at that point, like it was just a fucking, like we were looking at like kind of having a resurgence and stuff like that. Really like a rego, like yeah. Well, because Metal De Niro, you had just put it out, and I'm actually in the liner. I'm in the picture in Metal De Niro.
Yeah.
And like you have Troy's face is like cropped in there, but I'm credited on the shit.
I wish I still had a copy of that fucking shit jacket we put together.
I found it like a little while ago, like listening to these pods. It kind of coincided because I was digging through, because my car has a CD player, so I'm like digging through looking for CDs and just like looking through old shit. I'm like, no fucking way. Dude, I bought everybody's CDs, so like I have a copy of that. I have a copy of Tales. I have like a bunch of old shit.
Dude, that's actually pretty cool though. Yeah. I wish I would have held on to some of that. But okay, so what was the first Schmouder performance that you were? Was that the Mela show?
Double header. Played with Peyote Coyote, played guitar with Peyote Coyote, turned around, played bass with Schmouder.
Rippin'.
Yep. Back, local legend.
Dude, the video of that Schmouder performance, which is still on YouTube, like it is. It's so fucking funny. We're so crammed onto that stage.
Oh yeah,
dude, like there's no room for anybody to like spread out, and you can tell.
Oh, so cramped.
It was great, man. It was great. A thunderous resurgence.
Yeah. Shit, we played there so much, and we just kept building. Like it was cramped, but at a certain point, we had a keyboard on the stage too.
Yeah, exactly. We still have a little bit of room.
We just don't move.
Yeah,
a few more things up here.
Yeah, people won't mind if we just don't move around, right? Yeah, dude, that Jay Schmouder video is still up there. I think it's under your account technically.
Oh shit.
Or maybe an old account.
Is it Jasper Plays the Bass?
Yeah.
Oh, yep. Shit. Well, let me rake in the royalties from that when we get in contact with YouTube and
get some cut. Clearly you're missing out on some advertisement money that they've been raking in. But yeah, that was the birth of that was the first experience, like the time we busted out the binary breakdown. That was like,
oh man, yeah, the binary breakdown.
Nick made like a recent like adaptation of the binary breakdown, I think.
Really?
I'd have to like find it. It was like in a Google file or some shit like that, but
that's awesome.
Yeah.
I mean,
but dude, the era of Schmouder, like I love the original era of Schmouder, but the era like where you were really like in and like part of the creative process and everything was really like, that was when we started getting weird and wild with it, which was so much fucking fun, dude. Like in hindsight, like it was so much like you think about like all the different elements, and like I don't know, you were just like a great addition to like a perspective wise to like add to that like whole like collage, you know.
Yeah, we like pumped songs out. I don't know, I kept coming up with shit. I remember like open mic night, just like I was playing with you guys one day. It was like one of our first few practices maybe after that show, where I was like, okay, yeah, I'm actually like I'm in the band, I'm gonna put some energy into this is what I'm doing. And it just like, oh, we'll just like do this and then this and then this, and like a few songs just kind of came out that way. I remember like the Mutants, Dusty was like, I want to do this riff that sounds like the Blakes, so he just starts like playing this thing, and then we all started riffing off of it. And it's like every time, I don't know, Rex and I have like a crazy chemistry musically, so like he and I play off each other really well, and like that time, you know, that period was like us just like figuring that out. And, like he and Nick and I too, like the three of us together had some like tasty jams.
That's what I was thinking, man. I mean, like you meant, like the three of you for sure, but particularly you and Rex, like definitely were like, I feel like you guys just like, and you know, I can't speak for your musical feels, but like it was just like you guys just jived so well with like your like what you guys would bring to the table with each other, or like how you play off of each other. It's like that's one of those things I still tell people about. I'm like, I just feel like you guys had this like sixth sense about like, you know, how to dance around each other like sonically and shit. It was just fucking uncanny. Like,
still, you know, if he's playing the drums and I'm like playing guitar or whatever, it just like fucking, it's like magic. We jammed like maybe a month or two ago. It was just like we were jamming with Augie, but like I've almost felt bad. There's like almost no room for him like between he and I, because just like fucking riffing like always.
Dude, honestly, man, like I'm not knocking what, like it's not like whatever, like the project you and the group you seem to be like currently working with like sounds like a wild like eclectic group, which is cool as fuck. But you and Rex, if you guys ever got together and just eked out like an EP together or something like that, would be such an interesting fucking project, man.
That would be fun.
Like I mean, you guys could probably just jam, dude. Like, I don't know if like, honestly, you guys could probably do like 5 tracks of just like starting in one place, ending in another, you know?
Probably, yeah. There were so many recordings of that got just kind of lost when his recording machine died.
Oh, R.I.P.
All the hours of shit.
Dude, there was a lot on that thing, if I recall correctly, man.
Yeah. He and Caleb and I did a lot of stuff too. We did a lot of wild jams, all in like the kind of Schmouder era, you know? It all kind of like, because at that point I was just like in it, you know? I was like fully absorbed into all of your friend group, you know?
The Schmouder fold.
Yeah, everyone that I knew, like that I grew up with in Wenatchee, either like moved away or like was a piece of shit, or just shit kind of fell apart. So I like have a whole new group of people over there. Yeah,
that's something I like. I don't know. I mean, you included, man. Like, I think that like one of the things that we are all can be really grateful for is like the friend like group that we had built, like in, you know, in this time frame and whatnot. Like, you know, it's like I think we can have like a long-standing, you know, comfort and like like we can pick each other's energy right back up, and like that's something I've been recently experiencing, and I think it's fucking awesome. And it's something to like, you know, it's we just have so many just like random fucking ties and stories and like shit that it's just like you ain't gonna ever shake that connect, you know what I mean?
It's like, it's so cool to have found that in this place. And like, you know, even outside of all of us who played in bands, like even the people who surrounded the estate and that whole friend group, it was all really cool people. Like one thing that always comes to mind is like, if you remember the Snatch Olympics.
Oh god,
like,
dude.
Just like something like that getting organized, like this whole day like event of all these people who are all sort of like 1 or 2 degrees from each other. Just show like that was rad. Well, and I think you know, like particularly having a spot like the estate, being able to like kind of center everything really, like that was, I think, what really, like, I think it was a catalyst for so much, because it just became a connecting thing, like, you know,
Yeah.
Yeah, everybody's like, 18, 19, like between 17 and 19 or something like that, or between 17 and 21 even.
Yeah.
Just all this energy and all this shit. Like, here's the place where you can like get away with quite a bit. You have a pretty relatively wild idea. You can get away with it.
It could be indulged. Yeah.
Yeah. Hear me out. I know it sounds crazy, but y'all want to do this?
Dude, like there's so many random times too. Like I remember, like, it's just we got so lucky along the way that like that place never like caught fire or burned. Things didn't happen like seriously. Like we got like I remember Josh. God damn, dude. Like it was like he was like all upset because it was like they were trying to go to what's that fucking festival in Seattle in that park?
Bumbershoot?
Yeah, Bumbershoot. And they drove over and he had forgot their tickets or something like that. So he had to drive all the way back that night. And then he basically just like missed the fucking entire day or whatever. And he got so upset that he was like smoking hookah by himself, really drunk in the living room. And he like just started lighting shit on fire, like inside, like he like on the table, like. And so I woke up the next morning, like I slept through whatever the fuck was happening, probably because I passed out drunk also. Because, well, I will say this, me and him, I remember distinctly going to the store and buying like 8 bottles of wine. And I drank only like 2 of them. So yeah, but I got up and there's ash like everywhere, and it was just like looked at, like eventually Josh got up and I just like, dude, what the fuck happened last night? Like there's ash in the living room, there's ash out in the carport, there's like just piles, and then like, and he was just like, yeah, man, I just got so fucking drunk, I just started like, I just like start burning shit, man. And I was like I was just like, the fuck, dude, like you can't do that shit inside, man. You can't. I'll go outside, light the carport on fire, but like don't fucking light the carpet on fire. Don't, there's like shit like, oh my god, dude, like the pizza boxes that got stacked. There's like the general box pile that eventually was around for so fucking long.
I saw the pizza box pile. It was legendary. Yeah, it was something. It was
grotesque and legendary.
A grotesque shrine to indulgence, self-indulgence.
This is what the American dream is, kids. But God, dude, the estate, man. It was a pocket of our own making, of just like whatever the fuck kind of universe we wanted in the moment. It was so weird, man. It was such a strange dynamic to be able to like bring to and be a part of, and like, and strange in a good way. I mean, because it was just like there's an eclectic circuit of people always going around,
Yeah.
And I remember like after every major show, we would always try to invite people back.
Oh yeah, there was always the after party.
After party.
Which was just us like blacking out within like 2 or 3 hours. Like midnight, we're all like, I was vomiting in the bathroom.
Yeah, dude. Yeah. I was probably vomiting, if not already passed out somewhere.
Like, we're gonna have a party. Well, party's starting right now.
Yeah, dude. Well, I mean, it did never help that me and Gil would drink a lot, plenty of liquid courage before the set.
Oh yeah. I was a sober musician back then. I mean, I drank afterwards, but I was like, I didn't really drink beforehand, and I wasn't smoking then either for like the first half of Schmouter. It was like the back half. It was around like the time we recorded Jay Schmouter versus the World.
Yes.
That's around the time that I was starting to get high again. Stuff like oh shit, what was that? Death on TV. I'm sure there maybe was influence there.
I think about that song fairly often. That song was so fucking cool. I wish I had a copy of that to jam on. Like,
yeah, I might have one floating around. I know it's on a computer for sure.
Yeah, Jeremiah also might have it. He's like I guess he gets to be the Jay Schmatter super fan or something, because he's the one that has like, I think, most of the fucking albums and stuff like that. So
nice.
I believe. But, Yeah. So in between, like, what was like, what do you have like a particular schmouter show that would stand out to you? Like,
So there are two that are kind of in. So there's a few. I mean, there's so many. One, so Right Away, the show we played in Spokane, that's like a whole nother story where like we played to no one. We went and just did a fucking wild party. But like the two shows that we did at the community center, the old church.
Yeah.
So the first one, the debacle with that shit, that Christmas show where we got locked out of our room and I was dressed as emo Santa because we were going to do this Christmas in the Underworld trilogy.
Yeah.
I had like all the shit on and we got locked out and it's like, fuck, it just didn't work
just
out.
Fucking emo Santa.
Yeah, now I'm just completely out of context.
Yeah. No, yeah, that fucking shit was so frustrating. It was just like, and I mean, God, dude, we couldn't do anything about it back there.
Yeah, it was a bummer. But I feel like we got redemption at the Valentine's Day show a few months later.
Yeah.
Because that was just like a bumping show. That was like a crazy crowd, just like a lot of energy. I think we played well. And it was just like fun. It's a fun show.
Dude, I agree. Like that one, and that is supposedly there's like a video of that set.
Yeah, we watched it. I watched it with like Jeremiah and Rex and Dusty last summer.
Oh yeah?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
Does the performance hold up?
I think it does. I think it's how I remember it.
Hell yeah. Yeah, that's really what counts. It's like, is it how I remember it?
Yeah. Man, the Mailish shows, although they kind of blur together, those were like a ton of fun too. And just like, it was a cool thing to do, you know, just to go hang out there and like see other musicians in town. And
yeah. Well, I think like, I'm not trying to toot our own horns or anything. I just think it was like it was the repetition of like doing stuff like that really helped kind of motivate more things in a lot of ways. Like there's like little pockets, you know, there's like some like house shows that would keep going on, but at that time there's no fucking places to play except for like the Hodgepodge Centennial Park thing, right? Like
there wasn't shit. Yeah, the Grange had closed down. You had to be 21 to play at bars, but there really wasn't any bars having bands play.
Yeah,
Wally's was still just like a dive without bands. And
as soon as Wally's finally turned and like really and like started hosting live music, that's like another point I think that really is like kept like especially punk alive over there, you know.
Oh yeah, it's like, the music
interesting
town for sure.
Yeah, that's interesting. But yeah, those Melee shows were always kind of like a fun sort of like push, I think, every time it happened, you know. So,
yeah, and like they obliged, you know, letting us play last, you know, because it's like wasn't really coffee shop stuff.
I was always so surprised that Darren wasn't like fine with that, you know.
Yeah,
I was like, because
we were just like having fun, you know. Our songs, like we were a metal band and whatever, but we were like, it was also like comedy.
Yeah.
And like that later end was like a lot of like sci-fi and like literature and like just pop culture, like reference songs. You
know, I wish still that Fahrenheit 451 song was floating around. Like,
oh yeah, dude.
Oh man.
Rex and I, probably in like 2015 or 16 when I was living in Cheney, he and I did like a jam on that. But we did like a swing style, like a swing jazz style version of it.
Oh, wild.
Yeah.
That's fucking cool.
Yeah, it was fun.
Damn, dude. Yeah, that's one. Like that's I want to do like another trying to organize like a schmouter themed podcast, like where we do like, you know, get like Dusty, Nick, you, hopefully we can get Rex to call in.
Yeah, I think if we're all in, he might.
Yeah, and then like, you know, I really want to try and hash out some of those like some of those more things. But what was like the next what was the thing that, like after schmouter that you dove into?
So
would you say
kind of like disbanded, and we did that Bloomers show, like, which was cool, but I think Dusty wasn't there, so it was just the four of us.
Yeah.
And then I just played music with Rex. You and I
We had
and Rex. We did like that J-Bug and the other sounds. We did that weird little thing.
A little thing.
Like Rex and I just jammed like 5 or 6 times a week, probably. Like 3 hours a day plus. We just jam, just go thrash, and like Caleb was there a lot too.
Yeah,
it was mostly just like playing and playing and playing.
Yeah,
and then there was the thing we did with Pete too, with you and Rex and Pete and I. We did a Portuguese Marigold.
Yeah,
some songs and like just kind of had a little band there.
Yeah. So okay, you're gonna have to indulge my hazy memory, but like did we attempt recording with Portuguese Marigold?
Oh yeah, I'm sure we recorded. Yeah, because do
you know if any of that exists?
No, that would have all been lost on Rex.
God dang, dude.
Your death, yeah, those are long gone. We had like probably 2 or 3 like shorter songs, 3 or 4 shorter songs.
Yeah,
and like one like between 20-minute and 45-minute piece. Like crazy, towards the end type of like jam masterpiece.
Yeah, that's the thing. I was like I remember this like, I guess piece is how I describe it. It was something else, man. But J-Bug and the Other Sounds was also kind of like a weird sort of like recording experience as well. I mean, I'll just say we indulged in some stuff, and we, just we just like went at some instruments and some microphones,
Yeah. Oh yeah. I mean, there was a lot of weed and a lot of mushrooms floating around. And we listened to an American Prayer, that Jim Morrison, the Doors thing all the time. So it was just like, let's make some crazy collage music or something, like spin this globe and record the squeaking. Yeah, scraping a spinning ride cymbal for like percussion, and or just like weird minimal stuff with like vocals.
Just just me shouting uber important things over the top. Whatever. Yeah,
it was like almost like the opposite of Schmouder though,
Yeah.
Going from this like high energy, like performance comedy metal stuff to like just something really bizarre and experimental.
Definitely, yeah. Well, I think that was kind of one of the intrigues about that just the dynamic of switching from one to the other.
Yeah. So we did Portuguese Marigold, and then Rex and I, there was a brief band called the Rock City Rebels, which is where we did like rock and roll and out of control, and we wrote like I Hate the Government and a few other like hippie protest songs and turned them into punk songs. So we had this going, and shit just kind of fizzled for a minute, and that all came back with the Waldos, because I moved into the estate like late November, December of 2009. So like 2010, beginning of 2010, I was like on my winter break, I think, and you and Caleb and Rex were in the basement with like a guitar missing a string, and like you're like, hey, do you have any like shit we could play music on? I'm like, yeah, I got this like a banjo and another guitar. Just like burst some songs in your room there.
Yeah. It the Waldos, again, it sort of came out of like this weird hodgepodge, and I think what it became was really the better aspect of it, like where it started was definitely kind of like more from like a, how do I say it? For myself, it was a little emo-y, if I can be honest, and then, so I'm glad I steered away. It was like I tried to like I think like we like through what you guys kind of were starting to put together musically, it helped steer away from like particular sort of styles, and in the end, it also started becoming a little more experimental, which was like which is interesting. Where the Buffalo roams is like,
oh man, what a song. I still remember I can't remember that like lead guitar riff. It's never like been able to come back to me,
dude. That's
the end part. I could definitely still remember that.
That's like, to be honest, like aside from Schmatter, Waldo's is definitely like an entity that like if we had an opportunity to like all get in the same room again, it would be really interesting to see like what we could rehash, just if anything, you know.
Yeah, some of those songs are definitely lost. Like I just don't remember them.
Yeah,
I have like the old three song demo, so like Double Down, She's Walking Down the Aisle, and then Rock and Rollin' Out of Control, and those, you know,
yeah.
But
yeah, fair. I really wish we were able to have completed the gunslinger thing, because it was like such a weird, interesting idea.
Yeah,
because it was like we were gonna lay down a story about these characters in reverse.
Because it came at the end of the songs. Like at the end of like 3 different songs, there was like this weird blues sort of thing we would do.
And just like these kids, I don't know. It was just bizarre, but fun. And that was the fucking, like, that whole group was like, it was just like playing on stage with each other was like such a fucking experience too, because it was just like we were just trying to get fucking wild. That's like as soon as you go, you're just sort of like just go. Like,
yeah, dude. Yeah, just the energy. Like I don't know where it came from. I don't know. Maybe it was just because I had like just moved out of my parents' place or something.
Yeah.
Like I was just like full of it, and it came through in the music, and we were just like skateboarding all the time.
Yeah, dude, the longboarding sessions, man.
Just being like high energy. Like I don't know, we just stopped paying for internet and TV, and so we would just like shoot dice and drink and like longboard and play music, and we were
scrappy.
Yeah. We also went on some other tears. There was also a lot of like tagging, vandalism, tipping over outhouses.
You know, this classic just like shithead stuff. You know, it's like, and it's I don't know. It's what you. It was fun. It was. Yeah. I regret some of it, but not all of it.
Yeah, there was like a self-destructive tear to the whole thing, but it also added to the music. Like
totally,
the music altogether was like where it was all focused around, and like there was always set like practice nights. You know, at least a few of them, like 3 or 4, 2 or 3.
Yeah,
it was always like making songs and doing shit, playing shows. We played the ballroom like as often as we could.
Yeah,
and I don't know. We played at Wally's one time, like
true,
a weird show at Wally's for a bunch of like drunk middle-aged people.
Yeah, because again, that was like Wally's still wasn't really doing a lot of music at that point. And I believe that it was such a if I remember correctly, that bill was super fucking weird, because it was like goddamn Michael Carlos or something before us, and like, you know, it was just like such a weird vibe. Like,
yeah, like, well, any bands from Wenatchee can sign up.
Yeah, and so then that's what they got. They got like, yeah. Yep. Well, I mean, shit, dude. Yeah, I don't know, man. Like, it's just such a fun, awesome thing that we had, like, music as this like just kind of ongoing driving force between so much, you know, and when things kind of like hit a lull or something, it was like a fucking music project that would like bolster it back up, you know?
Yeah, definitely. Like, yeah, then like we were living together.
Yo, boy.
Caleb was hanging out with Pat all the time at that point, so Caleb was always around, and then Jeremiah hung out a lot, and Rex, you know, dipped in and out pretty often. So it was like we were practically living together, and it was just this like a scene that we made.
Yeah,
it was cool. It was like a ton of fun.
Hell yeah, man.
And I feel like we never told someone that you couldn't put that in a song. Like, if you want to do it, you really stand behind it. Like, we'll do it. I'll play what you want to do. Like,
the document was signed and the event happened. And you're right. Like, it was I don't know. It wasn't. We'd shit talk each other and everything, but it was an encouraging environment in that way. You know?
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. Just like pushing each other, and that's what it was all about. It was like we'd all played in bands and been with other people, but it's like, all right, well, here we are. We've kind of, funneled down to all these things we want to do. Like we want to experiment, but we also want to play like heavy songs.
Yeah.
But also, just do like whatever weird shit comes to mind.
It's true. I mean, technically, I think the Technicolor Waldo's MySpace is still alive. It's still, yeah, it's still up online. And I think self-professed, like biggest Technicolor Waldo's fan in the world, Dustin Hayes, was like, he's like ripped some photos off of it and stuff like that. I don't know if he's ever used them for anything, but I don't know, like a while ago, he was like inquiring about any Waldo stuff. So,
yeah.
I think it's so funny that cat was just like, he's just like, he just says he's like our biggest fan or some shit like that.
Biggest, onlyest.
Yeah, biggest. Oh yeah, same. Yeah, I think it's, I don't know, that, like I said, I feel like that particular was just like, it was such a fun dynamic because like sort of like you were saying, it was, we didn't try and harsh anybody's like want to try and create a certain thing, it was like, okay, like I like the what you said. It was like, if you sort of stand behind it, if you're kind of like if you think you got this, like then it's like, yeah, it's like, all right, let's just try and make it happen then. Yeah. I'm trying to look up to see if I can find the video. There's like this Waldo's video that's still somewhere around, where it's like this hodgepodge of random ass fucking shit while we were recording. And
yeah. When I started working at the farm with Jeremiah, I think he sent me a link to that.
Oh yeah,
my God.
Yeah, I think at one point you hear the classic Rex comment about he says something about like Irish blood having potatoes in it and shit. And he's like, the fuck? Just the context is somewhere, but
talking some shit at Caleb or something like that.
Yeah, it's classic. Yeah.
Blood with potatoes in it.
Yeah. Oh my God, dude. Yeah, MySpace.com, man. MySpace.com. I still am so. It's just strange that it still is like there, MySpace.
Yeah, you could even go on there and still find shit that's not just unhosted, just untaken care of, gone forever.
Yeah, it's just weird that like, hey man, this page has 499 fans, okay?
What? No.
It is the truth, man. It's the truth. Okay, let's see if I can share this. Hold on. The Waldo's is the most popular music project I've ever had, probably based on that number.
Yeah, absolutely.
But all right, let's see. Hold on. Okay. I'm bad at Zoom, so I'm trying to share those, but I don't know if I can. Zip. All right. Yeah, it's like
I Ain't Your Baby Daddy. Holy shit.
It's got a Super Death demo track on there still.
Nice. Super Death was gonna be the project to end all projects.
It would have been a masterpiece.
Just one blurry shot of Jeremiah.
A very young Jeremiah, man. I love him. But as soon as Jeremiah started growing a beard, you knew it was because he was tired of baby face comments. Yeah, but dude, it's not.
It was interesting.
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Shoes, great, edgy. Okay.
Nice.
This is so strange, dude. I don't know if you can, like, it's like the way you scroll on MySpace is like sideways. There's the boy. My God. Oh my God. Does he have sideburns in that photo?
Nice.
That's you in that denim jacket there.
Yeah, too short denim jacket.
My God.
We all had sideburns, dude. Sideburns was the shit to rock.
Oh no, I lost it. Sideburns was the shit. Damn it, dude. I wonder if that is. No, there's not. No, it's not on here. I wonder where Jeremiah got that fucking video from then.
I think it's on YouTube.
Yeah.
Maybe. Or maybe it's a weird black hole.
Do you know if you'll hear this if I play it? We're gonna find out.
No,
I
I'm
don't
not hearing it. Might have to share sound or something.
I don't even know if I can hear it. It's not even playing for me. Well, all right. World, you'll never hear the I Ain't Your Baby Daddy demo unless you go online yourself.
MySpace.com, the Technicolor Waldo 39. Check it out.
The Technicolor Waldo 39s. Why the 39s?
The other 38 Technicolor Waldos, man.
Yeah, that's a good point. We had to account for all the other iterations.
Yeah. We picked such a popular name that it was just hard to separate ourselves.
Yeah, there's a lot of Waldos around the valley. That's
why I picked a nice recognizable name like Diarrhea Warning.
Yeah, which brings me kind of full circle. So just kind of jumping a little bit here back to that, like how, so you mentioned a little bit ago to me that you were trying to like push, some tracks out like fairly often with that project. Yeah. Is that still the case? Like, are you trying to like, just, is it like a nice challenge for yourself to do?
Yeah, basically. So like I work 3 days on, 3 days off. So in those 3 days off, I just try to like make something. I try to like record one song.
Yeah.
It's getting a little harder than I thought it was going to be because, like I just had a fucking shit track this week. So maybe I can do something tomorrow, but I've also done like 4 in the last 2 weeks. So I feel pretty good about it.
Yeah, dude. I mean, so just to clarify again, like all that stuff that is on SoundCloud right now is from like how long has that timeline been that, like you said, like a month and a half or something like that, or what? Yeah,
so there's those first few. The song is called Yesterday, and then Diarrhea, and then Theme for a Chode. Those were all made probably about a month and a half ago, maybe a little more. And like, those 2 recordings with the guitar sound bags, I'm just using like the speakers. I've had to play back the speakers through the iPad while I was recording, so it just gets tinny and shitty. So then the other stuff I've done, I've had headphones to like hook up to it, but a lot of it, like the electronic music, I'm just doing on GarageBand. I'm just like, I'll like use the beat sequencer and live DJ a beat and then just like jam with the instruments provided over it, basically.
Nice, man.
Yeah,
that's fucking cool. Yeah, I just started. I didn't get a chance to like get very far into it yet, but Slam Dunks for Jesus kind of caught my eye.
Oh,
and I was like, I can't wait to dive in there. But yeah, I think it's fucking cool, man. Like that you are still trying to actively produce stuff. Whatever that like your creative flow pushes out. It's hard to keep on that, man. It really is. Like, so I think it's fucking awesome. And the fact that it's really solid stuff is like, it's just ridiculous. Like, of course you'd be low key putting out really like cool fucking music like on SoundCloud. So
yeah, it was kind of my goal, and like the kind of anonymity too of using like a funny name, not having my name on it, and it's kind of cool because like I can just push it out.
Hell yeah.
But a lot of it, I'll like the last like longer one that I made, I think it's called Shit Your Pants.
I did listen to that one.
It's like super Napoleon Dynamite, and then the organ comes in, and it's just like, I was waiting, my wife was in the shower, we were going somewhere, and I just like did a beat and then did like a bass and other line to it, and then just like finished it the next day. Just kind of farting around.
Dude, that's legit. I feel like I don't know. It's just that's just like some of the best moments, man. That's your pocket. It's just like when you feel so just casual about it, then you're just like, you just eke something out that's just like, oh wow, okay.
And that's it too, because like I'll listen to it later and it's like it like doesn't resonate or whatever. It's like somebody else made it, and then I'll like listen to it and it'll get stuck in my head, and I'm like, oh shit, this is how I feel. This is cool. Like the thing that I thought was just kind of some goofy, cheesy, or like whatever, ends up later like really resonating with me.
Yeah.
And when I really try to put work into it, I usually end up hating it. So
yeah, dude, that's so interesting, man. Because like I mean, just like chipping I feel like when you spend so much time on a project that you're just nitpicking every aspect of it, like you do sort of as like as like the creator of that project, that you sort of like, I don't know, you start looking at it as a negative thing because you're just constantly looking for negative. So you're like, does this sound bad? Where's that at? Like, where, like, you know, and so instead of just being like content with like the picture, you're hyper focusing on the pixels and like, you know, sometimes it can be really detrimental to a project, man. Like, I feel like I have so much random shit stacked on like, you know, my computer or my hard drive that's just like, you know.
There's a really cool thing. So this was after the Waldos, but before I kind of like started moving around and doing shit, I got really into LSDJ, doing Game Boy music.
So
I have a track liked on my SoundCloud, and it's called Basura Solamente.
Dude,
Og's SoundCloud, and that is all of my LSDJ songs kind of in a mix.
So where did, like, I mean, like, that is really it's really fucking cool. Like, I was listening to it while opening one morning, and two, like, where did that, like, how did you get into that style? Like, where did you that come, like, where did that come from? Was it just because you just wanted to like fuck around with something, or was it like?
Dude, yeah, it was MySpace. I was listening to like Mothra on MySpace, and I looked at some band that they had like an LSDJ thing they did, and I found Fighter X, and like it blew my mind. I thought it was the raddest shit I'd ever heard, and just like I've always loved game music, video game music, like 8-bit sounds, and like bought a cartridge and went for it because I just love it. Like 8-bit is so cool to me.
That's dude, that's legit. Do you think you'll keep like dicking around with it, or?
No, I did for like a couple years, and I tried to go back, but it's like it's so like just hard to do. Like a 4-minute song took me like 8 hours.
Dude, whoa.
Because it starts out with just, you know, tone like whoop, you know, and you have to manipulate it from there to do what you want. And it's all like alphanumeric and just menus and submenus, and you just program through like alphanumeric. Like you like have this one chain, you go in and it's like 16 bars, and you go in there and it's like, you know, 16 beats. And you put all your little instruments and sounds in, and it's just so meticulous that it was just a phase where I was really into it.
I could feel like, that kind of level of like meticulousness was probably like, I don't know. Yeah. You just have to have like almost like enough time on your hands to like really enjoy it too much, you know?
I was living with roommates. Like, you know, a lot of people had moved out of town. It was like 2011 basically. So it's like Saturday morning, I'd wake up, you know, hit the bong and work on music for a couple hours.
Yeah.
It was just the same thing where I was just really relaxed, like nonchalant, like I'll just work on this and whatever. And it turned out pretty cool. Yeah, that is kind of my pocket, is just like really like casual, I guess, you know, just not stressing when I'm making music. Yeah, dude. I mean, not to fluff you, but I think that's just like one of the coolest things about you, dude, is like you somehow pull off just this like really awesome comfort and casualness, while also just like, I don't know, there's always something really like you can like, somebody like me can either learn from you just by like having a conversation, or, you know, based like about music or something, or, you know, like, or you're casually pushing your peers to like better them, like be like bettering themselves, you know. It's really fucking, I don't know, dude. It's a really uncanny quality, and I think it's fucking awesome that you just, without probably thinking about it, give that off, you know? Oh, right on. Thanks, man. I mean, and likewise too, you know, there was a lot of things back then that pushed me with you guys. Like literature was a huge thing. You guys were so into like books and reading and stuff. Like it pushed me into reading. And then when I wasn't doing music for a while, like I read just at like a, you know, feverish pace. Yeah. I just like consumed everything weird that I could. Just got into like, you know, some of the standard high level books, pretentious shit. Well, I think it was, you know, like you said, I think like just again one of those like occasions of just us always being around each other and like
it was just a constant conversation was happening about like, what are you doing? What are you reading? What are you participating in? Like, and so it just constantly was stimulating each other, with new types of activities or new like trains of thought and new like, directions to fucking head in, with what you're reading or whatever. Yeah.
Oh, absolutely. Dude, if we hadn't have done Fahrenheit 451, I wouldn't have gotten on that kick of like reading 1984 and then getting into like Aldous Huxley and reading like all that shit, and then getting into like stuff like Thomas Pynchon, like reading Gravity's Rainbow, which then led me, like his book Inherent Vice got me into like other just like detective stories, or like the Maltese Falcon and like James Cain novels and stuff. So it's like just from that one jumping off point, like there's so many things in my life that like can tie right back to that.
That's fucking cool.
Yeah.
That's legit.
Yeah. So like it's, that shit had a pretty big impact. Just all those, just, the fun we were having being in bands and dinking around.
Hell yeah. That's it, man. I mean, that's one of the ultimate things. It's just that will forever be a shaping factor of my life is like all of that dicking around in bands, all that estate, just wildness, like all of those connections that we built and made, it just one of the most formative periods of my fucking life, if not the most formative period of my fucking life, I think. So, very interesting, interesting vibe. I love it.
Yeah. There's so much to talk about that happened there.
Yeah.
So, I mean, just so much all the time.
Yeah. And that's something that we're gonna I'm gonna have to bring you back in for more conversation on that, because there's so many different elements that I gotta try and figure how to rope in for the estate tale, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
That might have to be a particular round table conversation with some peak people. Obviously everybody that lived there for one, which would include you and I, but there's also oh god, there's just so much, like you said, that it's just I'm trying to figure out how to create a timeline for where to start that conversation, which obviously would be when it started maybe, but
Luke.
Yeah, it's just Luke. That exactly, dude. Goddamn, dude. I need to get a hold of Gillespie, man. I've been kicking myself in the pants the last few days. It's been dude, why haven't I texted him? I need to get on him. But yeah, man. We'll have to pick this back up. Actually, the next time the hot dogs are going to hear your voice, Jasper, is going to be when we record an upcoming playlist review for the Under Further review.
All right.
Hell yeah, man. That's going to be we're going to have to schedule that, but it'll probably be a couple weeks out for the hot dogs or whatever, hopefully not that. Oh, I mean, what we got on? Anyway, we'll figure that out quick. But that I've been listening to your playlist already, dude, and it's it's fucking jamming, man. It's a good it's a good one. It's a good one. I'll save my further thoughts, but
it was hard to whittle down. There's a lot of things. Yeah, I'll say that it was hard to whittle down.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I imagine for a man of such eclectic taste as you are, I imagine that was something, a project to kind of take on in a way where it's just damn, dude, what do you piece into that,
Yeah, care was put into it. For once with a playlist, care was put into it.
Not just reckless abandon.
Yeah, 20 or 30 albums that I'm listening to on shuffle.
Dude. Endless.
Yeah.
Dude, we could try to review that one if you want. That'd be
hey, if you like, there's and if you like this, I have a couple other playlists. There's a solid gold playlist, and then there's a soundtrack to the adventures of Mr. Piss. That's a good playlist.
Dude, I love the soundtrack. Oh, who's Mr. Piss? Are you?
So he was a Tony Hawk character that I made in video games, for Fallout and a lot of other shit. I was always Burger Man, and then I just decided to do Mr. Piss, and then he just kind of became he was my video game character, a sort of character in my own head lore.
Creature of your own.
I have an idea for a 3-piece song, because one of the songs I put out is Mr. Piss pays a visit, and then Mr. Piss decides to stay. Mr. Piss reluctantly leaves, you know, three part.
I want to know the story, the full story.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's legit. Yeah, I've been crafting, trying to work with Jeremiah on slowly crafting us like revenge dual EP.
Yeah, I'm
thing
excited.
it's gonna be an interesting dynamic. I've just sort of landed on like what vocal kind of style I'm gonna shoot for and whatnot, and like you know, it's I don't know, dude. Like I haven't worked on a musical project in what seems like fucking forever. It's probably the last musical project I worked on. I mean, technically it was probably like you know, with Jeremiah, but God, dude, yeah, it feels like it's been forever.
No, and his vaporwave stuff's really cool. I'm excited to see what you guys do with it. The songs you made are rad.
Yeah, I mean, most credit to Jeremiah. I'm just gonna slap some vocal nonsense on top, to be honest. But
the whole concept you have behind it sounds really rad. Jeremiah's told me about it.
Have you ever wanted to do that? Like you're talking about it with Mr. Piss, you know, where you sort of do like a universe building like project, you know?
When I was in Cheney and I was just kind of doing shit on my own, I have like a whole story to put to music. I had like it was like a sort of time traveling caper sort of thing, you know? Yellow Belly the wizard, you know, and he was like, you know, gets corrupted by trying to find an unlimited power, and then there's these two like detectives. They're kind of like what's that shit? Like a Laurel and Hardy Goonie, you know, like
yeah,
like an odd couple sort of detectives that travel through time trying to find this wizard.
That sounds fucking cool, dude.
Yeah. Well, I was reading Naked Lunch nonstop. Like I read it like 6 times in a row at one point.
Whoa.
Yeah, I just got like super into it. I don't know. And,
I mean, I don't blame you, but
yeah, I got like obsessed, and then it kind of bled out into the art I wanted to make.
Fair enough. That sounds fucking cool, dude.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. I don't want to push you into anything, but I would definitely, if you flush that out, I would pay attention.
Yeah, I would love. That's yeah.
Have you thought about ever just trying to do like any sort of like story or anything like that? Do you ever just write anything like with those kind of concepts? Or
I kind of was then, but I don't. You know, most of my stuff's instrumental because I don't really think of a lot of words. You know, I don't really have stuff to say, I feel like, so I'll just do it all through music, you know. Like I like to do melodies instead of like vocal lines.
Yeah. That's legit. I mean, you're a man that lets his music speak for him. And
I feel like I don't, you know, if I did make words, it'd be like, it's always really emo. And like when I do write stuff down, then I'm like, nah. Or it's like a short story, you know. Yeah. And it doesn't really fit lyrics. I have a hard time like adapting. You
don't want to just read a full short story over the top of a song.
Yeah. He had awoke in his bed, confused, as it was not where he fell asleep.
There's just a shredding happening in the background, with no context for anything. Dude, that's fucking crazy. What a weird project that would be. Well, dude, I've been thinking about for a while. I've had this like low-key idea of how to do like how fun it would be to do just like basically like pirate audio books where it's you know, I've done them with Coffee and Contemplation episodes where I'll just like read a random chunk of Fahrenheit 451 or something like that.
Yeah.
You know? But like, but you just do it gruffly. It's like, you know, you're reading, you maybe like put the book down for a second to rip the bong or something. And then you just go back to like reading casually.
Oh, yeah.
You know, it's just like a very slow paced audio book. Like, you know, but my thought has been lately to be like, how fun would it be to try and challenge some people to sort of like maybe write like a little like just a little short, you know, whatever the fuck, and just like record that and do like audiobooks that way with original fucking random shit from people's minds, you know?
Oh yeah, it's like cycling back to like radio show sort of thing, like a little 5 or 10 minute, 10-15 minute like story.
Yeah, because I mean, between you, me, and all the other characters that we know, like everybody has like something in their back pocket that could be like kind of worth, I think, like just stretching a little bit. Like, you know, like just so many wild ideas, and everybody's just got such a like imagination, you know, still that it's just like I think it'd be fun.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Yeah, when I wasn't playing music, same thing. When I was reading a lot, I was like, I have ideas for short stories. I also read a lot of Philip Dick, all of his like old short stories.
Yeah.
Just like that paranoid fiction just like really speaks to me. And so I was like just coming up with, basically like cover songs, like rip-offs of what he was doing. But
dude, that's the
just like weird stories about like, double lives and
yeah.
That's the thing.
Yeah, that's fucking clever though. Oh man, yeah, that I don't know. I'll have to maybe flush that out.
Yeah,
a little bit more.
Like that for sure.
That'd be kind of interesting.
Yeah.
All right, man. Well, hey, we're about like an hour 45 in. I guess I'll cut it off here because I don't want to. I would like to keep coming back with you if you don't mind. It'd be awesome to have you hop on a little more, to have your voice presence a little more.
Absolutely. Yeah, we'll leave some of the mystery. You don't always want to know what's in the hot dog.
Yes, you heard it here.
All right, man. Dude. Yeah, looking forward to doing some more of this. This was really fun.
Hell yeah, man. Well, I'm gonna hop off. Let me just kill the recording real quick, and then we'll